Here's another story most of you might be familiar with. Any guesses?
Politics.
Politics?
2016 presidential.
2016 presidential election?
Yeah.
Said something else?
Republican.
Republican Democrat. So we're talking about variables. We're talking about what are some of the other variables? We're talking about Republican Democrat. Other leagues displayed.
How many?
How many?
States.
States. We're talking about states. States are displayed. Okay.
Who won one state?
Who won one state? It's a binary, right? It's either Republican or Democrat. Unfortunately, I don't have a legend on here, so we're all kind of just talking about the story we already know about this map, right?
No Alaska or Hawaii.
No Alaska or Hawaii, you're correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Forget about those convenience. The map would be very, very large if that were the case. So, all right. Here's something else. So this tells one story. This gets into a little bit of the nuances of the story. What is this now?
Oh, it's like
Population and electoral college.
Okay. This is. How do we know that? Because it says it on this. It says it on the diagram, right?
but it shows how small the populations are. It shows how small the population is in the college.
Yeah. So what we're doing here, this scales, and when we call scales, this draws the relative relative space on the graph, or relative space on the map according to population. And as we all know, maybe some of us know, don't assume anything. As the United States has an electoral college system, which is slightly out of alignment with states' populations. So this is scaled by population. This is scaled by electoral college representation. And I can create a really simple animation just by flipping back and forth between the two slides. And what are some things you notice?
It doesn't get much bigger.
Doesn't get much bigger?
The electoral college isn't representative of the population like it's supposed to be.
Why do you say that?
Because it's not the exact same.
It's not the exact same. What slightly changes? What's really obvious?
Montana.
Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, the heavily rural states. Right? So watch up in this area. You can see those rural states just kind of pulsing. And that's actually by design. The original motivation behind the Electoral College was to have rural representation instead of just outright population representation. Okay. You also see the same thing with Maine up in the upper corner. Okay. This is another story, and it's kind of fun. I'll show you a version of this in a little bit. But this is by county. This is the electoral result simply by county. And this is a different way of showing it. This is the population vote scaled by county. Yeah, it looks totally weird. It's something you're used to seeing that, right? That tells you a little bit more nuance. What are some obvious like things that really pop out at you here?
Looks like more blue.
Maybe more blue. What areas really pop out?
How most of what's on this side and this side are mostly have a lot more blue, but then in the middle it has a whole lot of red.
Okay.
And then and just a few little pieces of blue covering.
A few little pockets of blue. A lot of blue on the sides.
More of the larger states and cities are blue than more like, I guess you could say, the small farm and rural areas are Red.
Mm-hmm, very correct, was correct. I mean, here we have, what's this?
California.
California, but what's this?
The Pacific Northwest.
Like the Pacific Northwest.
Nope.
That's the Bay.
Oh, the Bay.
What's that? That's just San Francisco. That's the population of San Francisco.
That's crazy. You can't even see the Bay when you like look at the map of the U.S.
Exactly. Check it out. Right? What's this area here?
New York.
New York. Where's New Mexico?
You can't even tell.
Where is that from?
Right there. So that little blue island up there. See how big New Mexico is on the map?
Yes.
Scaled to population, we're about that big. Also, you see those. What are the blue islands in the middle? Somebody got it.
Places of high population.
Places of high population. Those are all these cities in the Midwest, right? So here you can kind of tell another story where the rural areas maybe tend to vote one way, the cities tend to vote another way. And we're throwing another variable on you. So this is instead of just 2, right? What are the 2? What are the colors representing? Republican and Democrat. Okay. What's this? What do you think this might be?
The in-between.
Nope. I mean, I'll just say no. I don't like to say no, but just no in this case.
Libertarian.
Nope.
No, it's by county,
This is by county still.
and it's like adjusted for like a minority.
Yeah.
So
Close.
like if the Democrats are the minority, then it's still a little blue instead of just all red.
Correct.
I think the ones that are.
You're on the right track.
Like, I can't remember what you said because it's like the ones that are a majority of Democrat, there's some there's Republican, there's not much like.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, very, very good. So what this is representing, instead of just a single variable, a single binary variable, right? Instead of up or down, left or right, red or blue, Republican or Democrat, here we're scaling the color itself. So the really, really blue, this is Albuquerque, the really, really blue is something like over 60 or over 70% voted for Democrat. The really, really red is scaled the same way, like over 60 or 70% vote for Republican, right? So you see like the really, really dark red rural areas, really, really dark blue urban areas. And there are some exceptions. Like, I like displaying information like this because you can look at it, you can get lost in it yourself. You can find out where you're from, you can see what your home state, your hometown, your home county might be. You can go like, why on earth is this place up in here so dark blue when it's surrounded by red? What might that be? Things like that. All these things tell a story. And the rabbit hole goes further deep, right? We go further deeper into the rabbit hole with this one. So this is scaling population, scaling percentage of victory. All right. So now it shows you a little bit of a different narrative, right? So we have these cities. So even though this city might have be in the Midwest, for instance, and on our map previously was just red, now we can see it's a battleground. Now we can see it's a battleground area, a battleground county. It just barely went Republican. So that might tell us something about if we are working with elections, we can target these cities and say, they just barely went this way, or this just barely went blue. We can talk about flipping those. And other stuff like the Bay Area, if we're Republican strategists, we don't bother going there because we're never going to win. Or at least conventionally, right? Or also likewise in the Midwest, where you see these like filaments that look like taffy, right? Connecting, surrounding the big population centers with these little filaments of low population. So like I said, this is the work of Mark Newman out of Michigan. you know, this is on the right side is the map you might be used to seeing, and on the left side, on the left is the map you're used to seeing. On the right side is a map you might not be used to seeing, but also tells a bit of a different story.